For the past couple of months, I've been shooting on the Kodak Ektar H35, and shortly after my first few rolls, it's easily and very quickly become one of my favorite cameras. I fell in love with its simplicity, portability, and usability, and I had loved using this so much that I almost immediately bought a second one for my wife. We've both been using these cameras almost every single day. And so in this video, I thought it would be an interesting perspective to share our collective 1 year of experience with these cameras and share both perspectives, the one of someone who shoots content and photography for a living, and from someone who's just a casual shooter and not a professional. So 400 pictures later, here is my 1 year review of the Kodak Ektar H35. So what is it about these cameras that are so unique and special? And as the name suggests, this is an H35, standing for a half 35. 35mm cameras are loaded up with film, and regardless of if it's a toy or the most professional camera you've ever used, the 35mm image will still be the exact same resolution. And most film stocks can fit roughly around 36 exposures. But what's so unique and incredible about a half 35 is that each picture only takes up half the amount of space that's normally on a 35mm picture. And because of that, you're able to double the amount of pictures that you're able to take, simply because each picture is taking half the amount of room that it normally would. The unfortunate reality of film photography, as wonderful and cool as it is you have to pay to play. Film isn't free, and so you end up paying to take pictures. So since this is a half frame, you can basically think of it like every single film stock you ever purchase will always be 50% off, which is a nice way to think about it. Another incredible advantage of a camera like this versus something, say, like a disposable camera, is that you can experiment with different film stocks. Whether they're a bit more high quality or professional, or a little bit more consumer grade and specialized with quirky looks, or even black and white, you have the freedom to load up your camera with whatever film stock you'd like to try. And again, instead of 36 pictures like usual, you get a whopping 72. And here's another factor that's very interesting. As far as use case goes for these cameras, they really sit under the same umbrella as a disposable camera, a point and shoot. Something that's your slice of life camera that you have with you all the time. So no, there are zero settings. In fact, you couldn't even change them if you wanted to. And for some, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe settings are kind of scary. The only controls or buttons that you have are advancing and taking the picture. Oh, and then you do have a flash right here that's turned on by twisting this dial. So when comparing this camera to other point and shoots, there are a lot of really interesting things that I want to talk about. Even though you do have to buy this camera up front and then also still have to buy film, it's still really affordable and approachable at only $40. And you only have to pay that once, and then you have the camera forever and you can continue to load up whatever film you want. And because it's so affordable, you can really be very brave and kind of reckless with this thing. You can throw it around and beat it up. I've literally dropped this thing on concrete and it's completely fine. I don't even use a case. I literally will throw it in my pocket or directly into my bag, and it can really take a beating. I was going to complain a bit about something that had broken on this camera. This film rewinder, which just pops out like this, was loose and was actually flopping around. I just fixed it with a small Phillips head screwdriver, and it's fine now. So let's pretend that this did break, it was not functional. This specific camera has taken about 200 photos or so. So it would have cost $120 for 8 disposables to reach that same amount of pictures, which is still far more expensive than it would have been to just buy another one of these. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, so they did make an updated version of this camera, but to be honest, just save your money and don't get that one. Basically, the people who want those features already know that they're going to buy that one instead. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. If this is a half frame camera, you're cutting the resolution in half, wouldn't that make the pictures look like absolute garbage? I actually made an extremely in-depth comparison between disposables and the H35, and across all of my tests, you really can't see any significant change in detail between the cameras. I still highly encourage you to check out that video. There's a lot of other factors and price breakdowns that I still think are definitely worth giving a watch. So this camera to me has easily become one of my favorites. It's so small, light, it can take a beating, it's very affordable, it doubles the amount of pictures that you're able to take, it's got 0 settings, you don't have to charge it because you just put in a AAA battery for the flash. Anyone, even if they're not photographers, would love having one of these. It's just an easy recommendation for anyone who's looking for a film camera that's an everyday camera that's just your slice of life, does it all, always with you, camera. That's a sentence. So with all that said, do I think you should get one? Yes, absolutely. For me personally, I will never purchase another disposable camera again because this will be my permanent replacement. So even though they're not the best quality and they're kind of quirky, that's the point of point and shoot cameras. They're just for fun, vibey memories. And no, they don't have to be the sharpest photo or the most accurate or the most perfectly framed, but I absolutely love all of these images. Whether we're traveling or just day-to-day life, it's just so fun to have something so easy, approachable, and unassuming with me at all times. And because it takes so long to fill up this camera, I love forgetting about whatever it is that I've shot and being delighted to see these fun little surprises of all of our little adventures together. If you like this video, please like it. Do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.